Ubisoft is by far the worst game developer in the industry right now, and with each new passing day, gamers are provided evidence that supports this fact. And today is no different whatsoever, because Ubisoft is now backing out of one of the most important places it needs to be at, especially right before the release of Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is a game, of course, set in Japan itself. This is where they want to be. This is supposed to be their comfort zone, and they're backing out. They were supposed to give a bunch of Amazon gift cards to people at this game show, and now they're saying, hey, sorry, we're not going to be there, but you guys go ahead and give the rewards out on our behalf. And a lot of people say that it may be because they don't want to face the criticism that Japan has been brewing and preparing to confront them with all of this time. And this goes back a couple of months to this point right now. So we're going to read this, and then we're going to do a little bit of digging. So this is from Ubisoft Japan. Announcement regarding Ubisoft's participation in the official Tokyo Game Show 2024 broadcast. And it is in Japanese, so I had to translate the image itself, and I was successful in doing so. So right here it says, "Dear community, regarding our online exhibit at Tokyo Game Show 2024, scheduled to start at 3 p.m. on September 26th, we regret to inform you that due to various circumstances, we have decided to cancel our exhibit. The currently ongoing giveaway campaign to commemorate the official release will continue." So you guys go ahead. We're just going to take a breather and avoid this very important game show that would promote our game. We apologize for the short notice. So this was at the last minute. They were informing these people right before they were supposed to show up. And what is very interesting is that this is right before November, because if you recall, this game is supposed to come out very soon. We sincerely apologize to everyone who was looking forward to the release. This is from Ubisoft Inc. They sure do love to apologize to the Japanese people, very often do they, despite media shills and Sweet Baby Inc. employees saying the complete opposite. Hey, Japan loves our game. They're very excited for it, and we can't get enough of Japan's praise. So why is it that Ubisoft is avoiding Japan at every single turn and apologizing to them seemingly on a monthly basis, it feels like, up to the point that this game is releasing? I have to admit, I'm quite intrigued by this. There is an insane amount of negative backlash from Japanese gamers, by the way, but this is what they abandoned at the last minute. It says right here from Ubisoft Japan, "To celebrate our participation, we will be giving away 5,000 yen Amazon gift cards to 5 lucky winners." So they were going to be present at this game show, and they were going to give out these Amazon cards to a bunch of Japanese gamers. But it appears that Japanese gamers are not on the same page as Ubisoft, and perhaps Ubisoft picked up on this because they backed out, and there may be a reason why. Because if you see the story from that Park Place, they dig into the continuous negative backlash from Japan. You have to understand that Japan has been pushing back against Ubisoft for months now with extremely viral music videos that insult Ubisoft and their yasuke inclusion and whatever else they're messing up when it comes to Japanese history and culture, which we're also going to get into because they dropped the ball yet again. Ubisoft cannot catch a break. They just can't get on the same page as Japan. It says right here, Japanese YouTuber explains why the Japanese are calling Ubisoft to immediately discontinue the creation of Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now, this was back in July, and Japanese YouTuber Shohei Kondo explained why the Japanese are calling on Ubisoft to immediately discontinue. They say that thousands of Japanese players have signed a petition calling on Ubisoft to shut the game down. Now, of course, the media says that's no big deal, and they're probably all just a bunch of white people pretending to be Japanese, and that's something that Hashimoto Kazuma, a former Sweet Baby Inc. employee, also loves to defend Ubisoft with. They're saying, hey, everybody in Japan loves this. The positive reception is at about 98%. Nobody is saying anything bad about this in Japan. It's all white people in the West. It's also important to note that this was near the beginning of the growing backlash against Ubisoft as a company for pushing this yasuke narrative and the butchering of Japanese and Chinese architecture and all these other mistakes that they made, like stealing artwork from established rifle corps in Japan. Among other things, one is so hilarious that I had to include it in this video, and we're going to get to that in just a second. But this backlash has been brewing for quite some time, which brings us to yesterday's story. Ubisoft trashed after Assassin's Creed Shadows debuts new collector's collectible featuring Yasuke and Naue alongside what appears to be a destroyed Torii gate. Now, there is a really dark story behind this Torii gate, which is why this is so terrible and funny at the same time. Ubisoft, you guys guys suck. In every sense of the word, you just can't get anything right. And it's like all of these experts that you hired, it seems that they intentionally sabotaged you or something, or they were never experts in the first place and you're just lying to everybody, because every single time they release a product having to do with Assassin's Creed Shadows, they mess up in some way, and the mess up is astronomical in scope. It's just the worst thing that you could possibly do. In some ways, I feel that Ubisoft does this stuff on purpose, because how do you miss such important things as this destroyed Torii gate and misunderstand its meaning completely? Ubisoft finds itself in hot water again over Assassin's Creed Shadows, and specifically a collector's collectible that features Yasuke and Naoe on what appears to be a one-legged Torii gate. Now, what is the story behind this Torii gate? Well, the toy itself is created by Pure Arts, but the official description says, legendary samurai Yasuke and stealthy shinobi Naoe, dual protagonists of Assassin's Creed Shadows, ready to fulfill their destinies and usher in a new era for Japan. Collectors captures iconic Assassin's Creed scenes in a cute new 6-inch format, the perfect size to fit in any collection. Unfortunately, it caught the attention of an ex-user who blasted Ubisoft for greenlighting it, as he speculates that Naoe is purchased on a one-legged Torii gate. So they translated it on Google. Please spread the word. Assassin's Creed Shadows figures from Ubisoft, a famous Japanese hate and criminal company. A figurine of a destroyed Torii gate has been released, which is believed to be based on the one-legged Torii gate that was destroyed in the Nagasaki atomic bombing. How do you mess up this badly? He added, I have never seen a one-legged Torii other than the one destroyed by the American atomic bomb in Nagasaki. So what I'm thinking here is one of their experts saw this destroyed Torii gate right here in the background in Japan while they were on the ground researching for this game. And they're like, look at this thing. It's so cool looking and people love to walk around it. Let's put it in the game. It's like they didn't give any second thought to what it might actually mean. So he posted this on X and brought it to everybody's attention, and many others started roasting Ubisoft for it. YouTuber Razorfist wrote on X, Ubisoft including an artifact from a nuclear detonation, a one-sided arch, and what promises to be the biggest bomb of the year. God is a stand-up comedian. Well, God certainly has an incredible sense of humor. I do agree on that much. So Razorfist brought it to everybody else's attention even more, and they're just getting destroyed by both United States gamers and Japanese gamers. It's actually insane how much backlash they're getting from this alone. And now we're just finding out that they have backed out of that game show in Tokyo. Other people started pointing it out too. Ubisoft just keeps digging themselves deeper into the Esser. So there you go. Well, the pooper. So YouTuber Vera Dark posted about it too. Everybody is talking about this because it is absolutely insane. Kitsun Chia wrote, Ubisoft used an atomic bomb relic for its marketing campaign. This is what DEI money buys a company. How incompetent and disrespectful do you have to be to go onto the ground in Japan, look at this arch, and just without a second thought say, yep, this is exactly what we need? The one thing that you're not supposed to do, to take one of the darkest monuments in the country and make a purchasable toy out of it for people to buy. This is just stupid. It's so stupid. How can Ubisoft be so stupid? Ubisoft reviving World War II bombings on Japan. Ubisoft needs to go bankrupt. Video game companies can't be led by woke and communist activists. Well, Ubisoft is not just dealing with pushback from Japan. They also have the European Consumer Organization trying to go after them, sending requests up to the European Commission to shut them down for illegal practices. They also have their own investors trying to conduct a hostile takeover, trying to get their CEO fired for trying to enrich himself and the company that he is partnered with. It's an insane debacle, and I don't think that Ubisoft is going to recover from this. Their stocks certainly aren't looking good, which we're going to take a look at in a minute as well. But we have to go onto this post that they had made about them backing out of this expo so that you can see all of the incredible backlash that they are getting. I mean, there are so many Japanese comments here. And of course, the Sweet Baby Ink defenders, the Ubi slop shills, are going to say, it's all white people. They're the ones responsible for this backlash. The Japanese people are actually really, really happy with us, and they will just gaslight you, and they will lie, and they will pretend that none of this this actually happened. So I actually pulled up a bunch of these comments from Japanese gamers, and it is so much worse than you realize. Here is one of them that I pulled for you guys to see, and it says that I would like an explanation as to why you split the Japanese Torii gate in half. Was it really based on the Torii gates destroyed by the atomic bomb? Well, obviously it was. It looks exactly the same. It really does. Look at these two images right here. This first one almost perfectly matches what happened to the one in the second image. So this is the one that was blown up in World War II. And it just looks exactly like it. How can it not be the same thing? What is Ubisoft trying to say? That Yasuke cut this thing in half? No. It's very obvious what they have done here. And of course, they're going to say, no, it's not that same Torii gate. That wasn't our intention at all. And then they're going to formulate another AI-generated apology to send to the Japanese people because they are shameless losers that have no idea how to develop a video game properly with the right amount of research and the right amount of respect and honor for the Japanese people. And here are a few more comments for your viewing pleasure. It says right here, in a way, I was looking forward to it the most. Yes, I bet that people were. In fact, there is speculation that a bunch of Japanese gamers were going to be at the expo to protest both the illegal activities that Ubisoft is being accused of by different countries, as well as the inclusion of Yasuke, their insistence on making him a bisexual in the new Assassin's Creed Shadows game, and their constant botching of acclimating Japanese culture and architecture into their development. These people suck so badly. And Japan has caught on. They caught on a while back when this Yasuke and Thomas Lockley nonsense started cropping up, and it's only gotten worse since then. Here is another comment for you guys to check out. It says, I ran away from being commented on for my illegal activities. So Japanese gamers are now accusing Ubisoft of running away with their tail between their legs like cowards, and they're trying to tell them not to run away, because you've got other comments saying, don't run away. I think they suspended the exhibition because they were afraid of being criticized by cultural heritage holders. Diversity kills art. What the heck is LGBT? F it. These people are so mad at Ubisoft. And it's so funny because everybody in the West is trying to gaslight everybody else into believing that none of this is true, that Japanese people are thrilled. They can't wait for this game. So let's take a look at the Tokyo Game Show account itself. These people have 89,000 followers. They're very popular in Japan. And they were trying to do something nice for people who showed up to this game show. They were going to give people Amazon gift cards while Ubisoft talked about their new game. And the only problem is that Ubisoft are scared. They don't want to stand there and take any criticism or questions because at the end of the day, they only pretend to care about Japan. All they really care about is getting their game on the market. That's all they care about. They don't care if Japan hates them. They don't care if America hates them. All they have to do is not show up because they are confident that their game is going to sell no matter what, right? Just like Star Wars Outlaws. Oh, wait a minute. Something's not adding up. I mean, this has to be the most embarrassing thing that they have done yet. I mean, backing out of the Tokyo Game Show on the eve of the release of your game set in Japan. These are the people that you're supposed to be comfortable with. You're supposed to be in this realm with them, communicating with them, getting feedback. But no, they just want to release their game without pushback. They don't want to hear any of it, especially their CEO. All he cares about is money and power, which is why he's buying at the very bottom of the dip on their stock charts and amassing even more power over time while their investors are coming after them. They have no time to actually listen to the Japanese people about this stuff, which is why they are failing both as a game developer and as a company. This is from that Park Place. These guys are on fire with this consolidated info. Star Wars Outlaws nearly falls off 40 most popular PlayStation games list less than a month after release. Everybody's saying, nope, these games are selling so well, they're making millions. No, they are not making millions. They are falling off top games lists, and they're not even making top lists in other countries. It says right here that True Trophies, which reports its weekly top 40 most popular PlayStation based off a sample of 3.1 million, I remember reporting on this. It shows that less than 9,000 people played the game. Similarly, PSN Profiles, which I find to be reliable, reports that there are only 7,090 Star Wars Outlaws owners. That is pathetic. Ubisoft, what happened to you? Really? It appears as of now that they are just way too far gone at this point, and since they're running like cowards with their tail between their legs all the way back to wherever they came from, the Japanese people are just left to question this and scratch their heads in confusion because they wanted a conversation and Ubisoft clearly does not. And now I'm starting to think that there is a good reason for that. Why would you want to talk to the Japanese people when your company is doing so poorly financially that your own investors are losing faith in you? This is the 3-month chart of Ubisoft Entertainment. Their share value has completely tanked and people have tried to help it recover and they have failed. And it just keeps flatlining over and over and over again. No matter how many people buy into it, it just stays at this little bottom rung that it's been stuck at for like a week or two now. I swear these people cannot get ahead of the curve in this battle. They cannot win. Do you realize how much money they would have to make from Assassin's Creed Shadows just to bring this chart back up to some level of prominence? It would have to be an insane amount of money that would make up for the losses of Star Wars Outlaws. They clearly don't care to show up at events that they were hosting. It's insane. They're not even going to be there for these people to get their Amazon gift cards. So a bunch of people are going to be standing there wondering why Ubisoft isn't there, and then they're not going to get their questions answered, and that's just going to create an even bigger rift between the Japanese people and Ubisoft. But not just that, it's also going to create a new level of animosity, one that cannot be quenched by a simple online apology that people didn't even buy in the first place. Again, sometimes I feel that they do this on purpose. I feel like they just want to make the Japanese people angry. They want to make the United States and Europe angry and have all of the conversation on the web be about them, because I suppose that there is no such thing to them as bad press. Think about it. They keep doing the one thing that would make people mad. Honestly, a Nagasaki bombed Torii gate? You probably could have figured that out by Googling it. In fact, I just Googled it. What is the first thing that pops up? Sano Shrine, Wikipedia. Literally Mountain King Shrine located about 800 meters southeast of the atomic bomb hypocenter in Nagasaki is noted for its one-legged stone torii at the shrine entrance. I found this on Google. All I did was take 2 seconds. I mean, they should hire me as an expert researcher on Japanese history and culture now, because now I know way more than Ubisoft knew when they were trying to do the expert researching on this crap. One support column was knocked down, but the other somehow remained standing, keeping the gate upright, but effectively breaking it in half. The force of the shockwave, okay, this was from the explosion, rotated the torii about 30 degrees on the pedestal base. The central part of the shrine is located just behind the photographer of the image on the right, and here it is, and this is the exact thing that they put on this stupid toy that so many people are getting upset about. On top of all of the problems that Ubisoft already has, and then they do something as pathetic as this. Sorry, we're backing out of the expo. We know how important it is for positive whisperings about our game, but that doesn't really matter to us. All we care about is getting this game out without pushback or without hearing any feedback, without listening to any criticisms. All of you shut your mouths. La 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 la. I'm not listening. These people are children. And as usual, while I'm recording this stuff, even more bad news for Ubisoft pops up from Insider Gaming. Ubisoft cancels press previews of Assassin's Creed Shadows. So this is right after the announcement that they were not going to be at the Tokyo Game Show of 2024. It says earlier today, Ubisoft canceled its online appearance, and that is what we know so far. But they also learned, they say, that Ubisoft has canceled its press previews of Assassin's Creed Shadows for the foreseeable future. It says, according to various sources, the Assassin's Creed Shadows press previews were scheduled to take place next week, and the embargo date for the previews would be announced then. At the time of writing, Assassin's Creed Shadows is still scheduled to release on November 12, 2024. However, the recent announcements may suggest that the game might be delayed. So now rumors are circulating that they're going to delay the game and that it's not going to actually come out on November 12th. And maybe that's why they've canceled their future press previews. That is so insane. Disaster just keeps striking and striking. I can't even finish editing a video before finding out more nonsense about this company. Now, they did reach out to Ubisoft for comment, but has yet to reply on the cancellation of the previews, but did not offer comment on the cancellation of the Tokyo Game Show. So not only are the investors coming after them, not only are Europe and Japan coming after them, but now they're canceling their press previews and the game might be delayed until when? 2025? December? I mean, when is this going to happen? I'll definitely keep keep an eye out on this one and see if any more news pops up. Because if they really do cancel the press previews and delay the game, their stock price is going to drop like a hammer. It's going to be magnificent to watch their share value plummet as everybody loses complete faith in this company. Not only is it being suggested that this game is not going to come out in November, but it also aligns perfectly with them backing out of the game show, if you really sit and think about it, but also raises a whole bunch of new questions. And I'm sure those questions are going to get answers as time goes along. And that is all I've got for you guys in this video today. I sure hope you all enjoyed it. If you haven't had the chance to like it and share it with your friends, that would be awesome. And hey, if you're feeling ultra spicy, consider subscribing to my channel so that you're always up to date on what kind of thing I've got going on. I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Later. Meow meow.